gentlemen, and welcome to Clothier Field Stadium on the campus of Swarthmore College for today's non-conference women's soccer game between the Neumann Knights and your Swarthmore Garnet. And now for today's starting lineups. First for the Knights, a senior number 3, Victoria Pearson. A freshman number 5, Lindsay Padilla. A junior, number 6, Mary Hebel. A senior, number 7, Nicole McAfee. A sophomore, number 8, Kaylin Ford. A sophomore, number 9, Courtney Curcio. A freshman, number 10, Taylor Garman. A senior, number 13, Alexa DeRose. A junior, number 18, Nicole Lebez. A freshman, number 22, Lexi Casper. And in goal, number 99, Kristen Montgomery. Head coach for the Knights is Lauren Chichetti. She is assisted by Heather Rinker and Beth Childs. And now, the starting lineup for your Swarthmore Garnet. Number 3, a junior defender from Winchester, Massachusetts, Catherine Zaves. Number 5, a freshman defender from Sunrise, Florida, Melissa Curran. Number 6, number 8, a sophomore forward from LaGrange, Illinois, Katie Doherty. Number 9, a junior forward from Venice, California, Hannah Lichtenstein.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us here on the new and improved Garnet Sports Network. Today we have a women's soccer home opener between the Swarthmore College Garnet and the visiting Neumann Knights, the first game of the Swarthmore Bryn Mawr Invitational. Swarthmore coming off a 4-0 win against Widener, and Neumann coming off a 6-0 loss to Eastern to open the season. So we'll see how one-sided this game is. Eastern looks like they have a pretty short roster. Swarthmore, on the other hand, with 33 players dressed for the game. So I think as the game goes on, as the heat continues to, as the temperature continues to rise, we'll definitely see Swarthmore's depth work to its advantage with a shorthanded Neumann team. But then again, you know, who knows how the game will go. Swarthmore on paper definitely with the advantage. Lineups now being announced. In goal for the Garnet will be number 1, Reba Magier. Also playing for the Garnet will be number 5, Melissa Curran, number 3, Catherine Zaves, number 8, Katie Doherty, number 9, Hannah Lichtenstein, number 10, Claire O'Brien, number 11, Emily Telford Marks, number 12, Amanda Bosworth, number 13, Melissa Trofa, number 20, Miranda Saldivar, and number 21, Caroline Kana.
athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated, and are grounds for removal from the site of competition.
And we're just about to get underway here. The home opener for the Garnet, as I mentioned before, started off the season strong, 1-0 with a 4-0 victory against Widener. Goals by Kana, O'Brien, Doherty, and freshman Marin McCoy. McCoy finished the game with 3 points off a goal and an assist, and Kana as well. And Swarthmore starts with the ball. Trofa with a long pass looking for O'Brien. Ball off a Neumann player. Zavez with the throw in. O'Brien just a little too strong, goes out for a goal kick for the Neumann keeper. Long throw in by Neumann, corralled by Telford Marks. She'll play it back to the feet of McGear. Swarthmore looks to be in control so far. Saldivar still with it, off to the wing to Curran. Curran looking for Kana with a through ball. Ball now with Kana. Kana looking for Trofa. Trofa beats the offsides trap, almost with a breakaway, but ball intercepted and cleared by the Neumann defender to the feet of, looks like Doherty, but the ball is cleared, and Swarthmore with a throw-in. Lichtenstein to Trofa, back to Doherty, offsides, and that was a recurring problem for Swarthmore against Widener. The Garnet called for 16 offsides in that game, 11 in the second half alone. So just being careful with the offsides trap, and pressing their advantages when they have them will be key for the Garnet in this game. And they look to have a lot of advantages, especially with their depth compared to the relatively short bench of the Knights. Curran to Doherty, Saldivar, Kana looking back to Saldivar, collision in the midfield, sprung loose is O'Brien. O'Brien with just the keeper to beat, and goal by Claire O'Brien as Swarthmore jumps ahead early, just under 2.5 minutes for the Garnet to get on the board, something that they've been doing a lot already this season.
Swarthmore goal, Claire O'Brien, assisted by Hannah Lichtenstein.
And that goal was Claire O'Brien's second of her season. Didn't have a goal last year at all, but scored against Widener and scores again today against Neumann. The assist credited to Liechtenstein, her second of the season. Liechtenstein was a breakout player for the Garnet last year after missing her freshman season with injury, coming back strong in 2014, named the Centennial Conference Rookie of the Year as Swarthmore won its first Centennial title in program history. Liechtenstein now with the ball, looks for Kana, finds Kana once again, a breakaway with the keeper, but a good save by the Neumann goalie. Not out of danger yet as the rebound goes to Doherty. Doherty shoots, another save by the Neumann keeper. Ball can't be cleared, and Trofa shoots, and another save by Neumann's goalie. That's 3 quick saves as she keeps the Knights behind only by 1 goal. And the goalie for Neumann today is number 99, Kristen Montgomery. Another shot, and a shot by, looks like it was Liechtenstein as it just trickled past the fingers of Montgomery.
Swarthmore goal by Hannah Liechtenstein, assisted by Katie Doherty.
And Doherty with an assist, her second of the season, I believe, her first of the season. She scored against Weiner, her 3rd point of the season. Liechtenstein's 3rd point today already. She had plenty of chances against Weiner. Didn't find the net, unluckily, but she makes up for it today with an early goal. Swarthmore ahead 2-0, and this game is not even 4 minutes old. O'Brien to Trofa to Kana. Kana looking for Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein out-muscles the defender, but it looks like offside was called. Swarthmore already with 5 shots on goal, 2 of them finding the back of the net. The last time these two teams played was in 2012. Swarthmore won 8-0. And we could be in for a similar result today if what we've seen so far continues. Again, Swarthmore with 33 players, and I would think that head coach Todd Ankaitis will try to get a lot of players in, get them some experience, especially first-year players, as this game grows further out of reach for the Neumann Knights. Liechtenstein for Kana. Kana loose. Kana shot, point-blank save by Montgomery, who corrals the rebound and prevents Swarthmore from going up 3-0. Montgomery not getting too much help from her defense so far, although she's allowed 2 goals. She's had a number of pretty good saves to keep the deficit at 2. Ball behind Curran, but she'll get it to Telford Marks back in the center of the field. Saldivar. Saldivar off to O'Brien, who's off to the races. No one between her and the goalie. Let's see how she tries to finish. She might try to get it to the back of the net, and she does. Didn't know if she was going to try to pass it off to O'Brien in the middle, but that is a goal for Doherty. And the Garnet are up 3-0.
Swarthmore goal scored by Katie Doherty, assisted by Miranda Saldivar.
And with that goal, Doherty has 3 points already today. She had an assist earlier, and that's 5 points in the season for Doherty, having scored earlier this season against Widener on Tuesday in a 4-0 victory. O'Brien, too far for Lichtenstein, and Neumann gets the ball. Haven't had a lot of possession for the Knights this game so far as they turn it over. And Zaves will restart play with a throw. Trofa to Lichtenstein. Back to Saldivar. Saldivar goes one-on-one, beats her defender. Off to the wing to O'Brien. O'Brien looking to cross it back in. O'Brien trying to find the head, and she finds the knee of Kana. Beautiful play with the ball from O'Brien to Kana. Kana's first goal today, her second of the season, and her 5th point overall this season, if I'm not mistaken. Sub coming in for the Garnet. Looks like number 26, junior Malay Johnson, will replace number 8, Katie Doherty, who's already had herself a pretty good game so far.
Assisted by Claire O'Brien.
And Johnson ball goes out, goal kick from Montgomery. Another goal for Swarthmore. Piling on at this point, 5-0 for the Garnet. Just under 10 minutes have gone so far, 35-59 on the clock.
Swarthmore goal scored by Malay Johnson, assisted by Hannah Lichtenstein. Into the game for the Garnet, Izzy Bronco Lowe.
Coming in for Kana was number 24, sophomore Izzy Bronco Lowe. Swarthmore ahead 5-0, so head coach Ankaitis looking to get a lot of players in today. And we'll see, how many goals the Garnet score in total. Last time these teams met, it was 8-0, and it's already looking like it could eclipse that. So we'll see how many goals find the back of the net for the Garnet. Saldivar to Lichtenstein. Lichtenstein for Trofa, but too far, intercepted by Neumann. Bronco Lowe challenging. Bosworth cleans up at the back. Bosworth continuing, now past midfield. Player down for Neumann. Looks like it could be an injury, but she seems maybe able to get up under her own power, and play continues with a foul called on Swarthmore. Long ball finds Bosworth. Curran, Bronco Lowe, Liechtenstein to Trofa, who looks for O'Brien on the wing. 2 more subs coming in for the Garnet. Number 6, freshman Caroline Meyer. And it looks like senior Tasman Bailiff Curtis, number 29, will also be entering the game for the Garnet. Zaves to Johnson. Johnson with a goal today already, right after she came in on her substitution. Johnson tripped. Ball will go with the Garnet. Bosworth to restart play on the free kick. Swarthmore with 10 shots on goal, 5 of them finding the back of the net. Could be even more one-sided if not for some pretty good saves by Neumann goalie Kristen Montgomery. Knocking on the door again, Liechtenstein taking it herself. Shot just past the far post. And now Meyer and Bailiff Curtis will come on for the Garnet, replacing number 20, Miranda Saldivar, and number 13, senior Melissa Trofa. O'Brien losing possession, gaining it back. O'Brien trying to find Liechtenstein. Ball's high. Looks like it'll go out. And a corner kick is awarded, the first corner kick of the game for either team. And with the substitution, Horn coming into the game will be number 15, Marin McCoy, a freshman who had a goal and an assist for the Garnet in her collegiate debut against Widener. She replaces number 10, Claire O'Brien. O'Brien with a pretty good game so far. 1 goal, off 2 shots off goal. Bailiff Curtis to Meyer. Meyer to McCoy, actually to Liechtenstein. Offside flag raised. Swarthmore continuing on the attack, looking to increase its lead. Garnet up 5-0 with 31 minutes remaining in the first half, so barely a third of the way through this first half. Swarthmore with a 5-goal advantage. Telford Marks heads it. Bailiff Curtis slips. Ball escapes her. But she recovers well and cleans up. Looking to get it back to McGear, but to Telford Marks. Zaves to ultimately Bailiff Curtis. Bronco low. Back to Bosworth. Swarthmore totally in control of this game so far. Telford Marks in the middle to Bailiff Curtis. Zaves. Johnson. Throw in for the Garnet. Liechtenstein so far with a goal and 2 assists. 4 points this game. Added an assist in the season opener against Widener. Coming off a really good rookie year in her sophomore season after missing her freshman season to injury. Liechtenstein definitely an impact player for the Garnet and one to watch throughout this game and throughout the season for the Garnet. Liechtenstein, and the Neumann defender kicks it out of bounds, so there will be a goal kick. I guess it went off of Liechtenstein's foot, so a goal kick is awarded. Zavez. Ball still loose. Liechtenstein with a nice slide. Gets it to McCoy. McCoy, easy shot past the keeper. And Swarthmore ahead 6-0 with 29 minutes left. McCoy's second goal of the season.
Goal by Marin McCoy, assisted by Hannah Liechtenstein.
So with McCoy's goal, Swarthmore leading 6-0. Liechtenstein picks up her third assist of the game. And McCoy gets her first goal of the game, her second of the season, and her 5th overall point. Bailiff Curtis to Bronco Lowe. McCoy on the wing. McCoy back to classmate Melissa Curran. Bronco Lowe. Curran, Bronco Lowe. Liechtenstein to Meyer. Carolyn Meyer. Didn't know if she was trying to get the ball to Johnson in the middle, but the result will be a goal kick for the Neumann Knights. Good start for the Garnet to this game and to the season overall. Swarthmore with 10 unanswered goals to start the season. Zavez playing it across, just clips the top of the crossbar and goes out for a goal kick. As I was saying, Swarthmore has not yet conceded a goal so far this season, shutting out Widener in their debut and keeping Neumann pretty neutralized so far in this game. Garnet will make a double substitution. Coming in will be number 18, senior Cappy Pitts.
Into the game for the Garnet, number 7, Caroline Coates.
And freshman number 7, Caroline Coates. And Coates will come in for Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein having a very, very good game in this first half with 3 assists and a goal. And Swarthmore warming up a couple more subs. At this rate, I think they might even go through their whole bench before the first half is over. Ball's out. Malay Johnson takes a throw-in deep in Neumann territory. Finding McCoy. McCoy can't quite get control. Neumann can't get it out of their defensive zone. The Garnet all over the Knights so far in this game, as the score reflects. Just offside. And Swarthmore looking for more goals. Neumann looking to start something perhaps, but the ball's too long. Finds the feet of McGear. Bailiff Curtis looking for somebody long, a little too long. Johnson with the hustle, but the ball goes out safely for Neumann, and Swarthmore makes 2 more substitutions. Number 27, sophomore, Sophie Basilone.
Into the game for the Garnet.
And number 28,
Sophie Basilone, and number 28,
Yasmin Namazi, a freshman making her first appearance, rather her second appearance this season. Basilone to Zavez. Zavez, one of the few starters remaining on the field for the Garnet. Zavez and McGear both started this game and have played every minute so far. Along with number 5, Melissa Curran, who actually appears to have been subbed out earlier in this game. So Zavez and McGee are the only remaining starters on the field for the Garnet. Throwing at midfield for Neumann. Headed by Namazi. Ball still loose. Picked up in the midfield. Long. Neumann tries to play a long ball, looking to at least get a shot on goal or some kind of promising attack, but a little too much touch, and McGear picks it up safely. Starting to play from the back is McGear with Meyer. Meyer back to Namazi. Namazi to Bailiff Curtis. To Basilone. Back to Bailiff Curtis. Namazi. And Meyer tries to play it ahead for Coates. Little too strong, and Neumann will restart play with a throw-in. Swarthmore making another substitution. Zavez will come out, and replacing her will be number 19, junior Justine Albers.
Into the game for the Garnet, number 19, Justine Albers.
So now the Garnet playing with all substitutes, with the exception of McGear in net. Bronco low to Pitts. Pitts to Namazi. Namazi evading her defender. Looks to play it long to Johnson. No offside flag, so Johnson free on the wing. We'll see if she tries to cut back in the middle. She does, just on the outside of the box. Shot by Johnson. Save Montgomery. Albers to Bronco low to Meyer, and just offsides was Coates. Something that we've seen from the Garnet a little bit so far this season. A little bit of difficulty with offsides, 16 calls in the Widener game. A couple so far here, but it doesn't seem to be hurting them at all. 6 goals so far, and 4 against Widener. All offense for the Garnet this season. At least, oh, good through pass from Johnson. Meyer with the keeper to beat, finds the bottom right part of the net, and Swarthmore goal by Carolyn Meyer.
Swarthmore goal scored by Caroline Meyer, assisted by Melly Johnson.
Credit the assist to Melly Johnson. And now another substitution for the Garnet. Number 22, Emily Gale, a senior, and she replaces number 7, Caroline Coates, a freshman. Bronco low. Meyer. Shot by McCoy, and another goal for the Garnet. And it is McCoy from Meyer.
Swarthmore goal, number 15, Marin McCoy, assisted by Caroline Meyer.
With her 3rd goal of the season, her 2nd goal in this game. and Swarthmore with an 8-0 lead, and 25 minutes have yet to elapse so far in this game. Very, very one-sided contest so far, and we'll see if that margin continues to grow in favor of the Garnet. Shot, save, rebound through the fingertips of Montgomery, but Johnson can't quite get the bicycle kick from close range. Would have been a spectacular goal for the Garnet, but I think they can make do with 8-0 lead so far. McCoy. Ball played, but a little too far, and the Neumann defender will let it go out for a goal kick. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is the Garnet Sports Network, the online streaming home for Swarthmore College athletics. As you may have noticed, a couple updates to our streaming this season, now broadcasting in high definition with lower thirds and customizable scoreboards, among other features, with our new tri-casting equipment from NewTek. Hope you'll tune in a lot this season. We have, I believe, 35 home contests in the fall alone to broadcast. So we hope you'll keep the dial into the Garnet Sports Network. Shot by Gale, and another goal for the Garnets.
Swarthmore goal scored by Emily Gale, assisted by Izzy Bronco Lowe. Into the game for the Garnet, number 2, Kayla Handel.
And now the Garnet making another substitution. Coming in for them is number 2, Kayla Handel, a freshman, and number 25, Summer Dennison. Pitts on the side in the middle to Bronco Lowe. Swarthmore facing Neumann in the first game of the Swarthmore Bryn Mawr Invitational. The Neumann Knights, coached by Lauren Cicchetti, previously an assistant for the Garnet. Bailiff Curtis shot, goal, and that is a Big 10 for the Garnet.
Swarthmore goal scored by Tasman bailiff Curtis, assisted by Maren McCoy.
And McCoy credited with the assist. I believe she has 2 goals this game so far and adds an assist to that. So 5 points for McCoy, 8 points total this season. Definitely a promising up-and-coming player for the Garnet. the Garnet playing a little different style than usual. Big emphasis on the attack, playing forward. It's resulted in, a couple offsides calls, but 10 goals otherwise. So definitely working out for the Garnet as they are all over Neumann so far in the first half of this home opener for Swarthmore. After this game, we will have a neutral game between Widener and Kane in men's soccer, and then that'll start at 5 p.m. And then at 7 p.m. there will be a game, another men's soccer game, this time between Swarthmore and Cabrini in the first home game for the Garnet. If you join us tomorrow, more soccer action from Clothier Field on the Garnet Sports Network. At 1 p.m., the women's soccer team will host St. John Fisher. At 4 p.m., another neutral game 4 will be the men's soccer game between Swarthmore and Kane. And then the 6 o'clock game will be between Widener and Cabrini. Also in action this weekend at the Swarthmore Haverford Invitational is the Swarthmore College women's volleyball team. They have matches against Cabrini and Carnegie Mellon today, hosted at Haverford, and then tomorrow Swarthmore will host, and the Garnet will face SUNY New Paltz and Stevenson. Stevenson at 12 p.m. and SUNY New Paltz at 4 p.m. Both of those teams qualified for the NCAA tournament in 2014. A lot of strong competition at this invitational, so looking forward to a very good volleyball season for the Garnet, coming off one of their best years in recent memory, tying program best for season wins. And back to the action here at Clothier Field. Goal kick from Neumann stays with the Knights, and they will restart with a throw-in a little bit behind midfield. 14 minutes left in the first half. Long throw-in headed by Basilone. Bailiff Curtis looking for Gale. Gale to Bronco Low. Off the wing. Looks like Pitts. Pitts losing possession, but the ball will stay with the Garnet, and Pitts will restart with a throw-in. Bronco Low spinning, still with the ball. Off. Nice cross, and just over the head of Handel. Coming out to receive the cross was number 19. And the Garnet put another one up on the board. That goal, I believe, no goal, offsides called. And the Garnet advantage stays at 10. Ball deep in Garnet territory, but Namazi in control. Haven't seen any really threatening positions from the Knights, and they've been held by the Garnet backline without a shot on goal so far this game. Swarthmore completely controlling possession. And shots, long ball to Gale. Gale continuing, still with Gale, cuts back, but the Neumann defender is able to clear it off. Not completely, though, as McCoy takes it from the wing. McCoy one-on-one beating her defender. McCoy to Gale. Gale off the foot of Montgomery, and it rolls out for a corner kick. Another threatening position for the Garnet, threatening to go up 11-0, but Montgomery with her 8th save of the game for the Knights. This corner will be taken from the right by Gale, or she'll play it short to Albers. Albers shot just wide, rather a bit wide, and Neumann will restart with a goal kick. Gale, ball out of bounds. Garnet throw in. Gale to Bronco Lowe. Bronco Lowe with a deep cross off the hands of Montgomery to the feet of McCoy. McCoy shot, goal. Garnet up 11-0. Sorry, again, I getting a little bit too excited. I believe it was offside, so the Garnet will stay at 10-0 with just over 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Corner kick will come from Gale. Neumann taken by Albers. Albers to Bronco Lowe. Bronco Lowe to McCoy. No offside called. And she's playing with the keeper. Shot by Dennison just high. Swarthmore having a chance to score its 11th goal of the game, but the shot from Summer Dennison is just above the crossbar.
Into the game for Neumann, number 12, Sierra Stockman.
Neumann making a substitution. A short bench on a hot day like this definitely not working in favor of the Knights. Garnet, on the other hand, with 33 players, have gotten most of their backups and a couple other reserves in the game as well. And I think the Garnet will look to... Oh, they've already made a goalie substitution with Long in net. She replaced McGear. Bailiff Curtis back to Basilone. Basilone. McCoy. McCoy taking on two defenders, still with Marin McCoy. Shot McCoy just wide of the far post. And the Garnet will sub in freshman, number 17, Amanda Carrillo Perez for number 29, Tasman Bailiff Curtis. McCoy. Ball recovered by Basilone around midfield to Perez, who just came into the game. Carrillo Perez. Back to Basilone. To Bronco Low. Pitts on the far side of the field. Neumann intercepts, but manages to get the ball out of their half and not much more, as the throw-in will be taken by the Garnets. Swarthmore putting in another substitute, number 30, Sierra Stark, and she will relieve number 18, senior Cappy Pitts. Albers streaking from the sideline. Can't quite get the ball, but manages to control it before it goes out. Back to Carrillo Perez, who gives it back to Albers, a little too strong. And Neumann will restart play with a goal kick. 5:40 left on the clock in the first half. The Garnet with 18 shots on goal, 10 goals. And Neumann so far with no shots on goal. Struggling to get offense going, as it's been all the Garnet so far in this first half, and probably looks to be the same in the second, given the depth of Swarthmore and their clear advantage on the field. Handle ahead, Bronco Low, shot Bronco Low to the left of the goal. Swarthmore still on the attack, pressuring, not content with the 10-goal lead. And just under 5 minutes now. Basilone. Basilone to McCoy. McCoy on the right wing. McCoy taking on her defender. McCoy to Gale. Gale with nobody to beat but the goalie, and she does. And that is the 11th goal of the game for the Garnet. And McCoy with her second assist of the game, so 2 goals, 2 assists for McCoy. Total this season, she has 3 goals and 3 assists. Really good start for the freshman in the first 2 games of her career here at Swarthmore. Gale picks up her first goal of the season. Handle, shot, blocked by the keeper. In a threatening position, Montgomery has made 8 saves so far for the Knights this game. Some of them very good. Carrillo Perez back to Basilone. Namazi. Now ball with the Neumann defender, and she will kick it out of bounds. So Swarthmore starts play with a throw-in in their offensive territory. Dennison to Bronco Low. Oh, trying something fancy with a bicycle kick, but I believe offsides was called. Swarthmore going for style points here as we are just about at halftime at Clothier Field. Carrillo Perez. Neumann defender steps up, intercepts, tries to get something going, but Namazi is there. Offsides flag up. Swarthmore still on the attack. Swarthmore so far with 6 offsides called. They've had 30 shots this game. 19 on goal, 11 of them finding the back of the net. As they'll take a very, very comfortable lead into the second half. 1 minute 20 now in the first. Long taking the goal kick. She replaced McGear in the 28th minute, I believe. Stark. Back to Stark. Gale. Ball ricochets back to Stark. Now to Carrillo Perez. Carrillo Perez at midfield. Dennison. Basilone. Basilone to Albers. Albers sprinting. Gets to the ball. Looks to play in a dangerous cross on the ground. Off the foot of a Neumann defender, but picked up by McCoy. McCoy's shot off target. McCoy with 2 goals and 2 assists so far in this game, leading all Garnet scorers in points with 6. Not far behind with 5 is Hannah Lichtenstein. Lichtenstein with a goal and 3 assists. And with that buzzer, it is now halftime here at Clothier Field. Swarthmore 11, Neumann 0. The Garnet in its home opener here in the first game of the Swarthmore Bryn Mawr Invitational. And to recap that half, it was basically the Garnet from the beginning, the middle, and the end. Swarthmore's starters scoring on the Knights and the reserves as well. We'll see how the second half goes, but I'd expect it to be more of the same as the Garnet try to get in more substitutes and really see which players they'll use going forward as the season progresses and they enter Centennial Conference play. So we hope you enjoy the 15 minutes of halftime, and we'll be back with the second half here in Clothier Field between the Swarthmore Garnet and the Knights of Neumann University. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Garnet Sports Network. You are watching Swarthmore versus Neumann in women's soccer. Swarthmore leading 11-0 at the half. That is not a typo, and that is a soccer score. Swarthmore completely controlling the first frame of action, scoring early and often. A very, very balanced attack. Looks like nine players have scored for the Garnet. McCoy with 2 goals. And Doherty, Lichtenstein, O'Brien, Bosworth, Kana, Meyer, Gale, Johnson, and Bailiff Curtis with 1 each. So 10 players have found the net for the Garnet. McCoy with 2 goals and 2 assists. Lichtenstein with 1 goal and 3 assists. And Malay Johnson with 1 goal and 1 assist to pace the Garnet scoring attack. Just about to start the second half here. Swarthmore Athletics is very active on social media. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, our handle is SWAT Athletics. And on Facebook and YouTube, you can find us by searching Swarthmore Athletics and liking and subscribing. We are also at www.swarthmoreathletics.com, where you can find scores, stories, photos, updates, live streaming links, and everything Swarthmore Garnet Athletics related, or by using the hashtag on Twitter, GoGarnet. And let's see who head coach Todd Ankaitis will roll out to start the second half. It looks like a very young group with freshman goalkeeper Amy Schmoys in net. Number 28, Namazi. Number 30, Stark. Number 19, Albers. Number 17, Amanda Carrillo Perez. Basilone as well. Number 25, Summer Dennison. Number 24, Izzy Bronco Lowe. And number 2, Kayla Handel. The senior leader on the field is number 22, Emily Gale. Coming on for Neumann, it looks like number 8, number 7, number 9, number 22, number 5, number 18, number 13, number 10, and number 6. And in goal for the Knights is number 99, Kirsten Montgomery. And Neumann will get the ball to start the second half as the teams have switched sides. And the Knights will be attacking to the right of your screen, the Garnet in white attacking to the left. Namazi to Dennison. Back to Namazi. Basilone. Basilone playing a long ball out to, looks like Kayla Handel. Handel shot, goal. And Swarthmore picks up where it left off with its 12th goal of the game by Kayla Handel.
Swarthmore goal scored by Kayla Handel.
And the Garnet now taking a 12-0 lead, completely in control of this game. Neumann with a throw in. Bronco low with the ball. Gale. I'm joined now by Marion Ware, Director of Athletics here at Swarthmore College. Adam Hertz. What have you seen so far from the Garnet that have led them to such a decisive advantage here in this game?
Well, Roy, first of all, thanks for having me up here. Secondly, I think that we're seeing a lot of much more direct play from the Garnet this year than we have traditionally. We saw spurts of this in the Widener match, and we've seen it continuing today. They're looking up, they're seeing the early ball through the defenders, and they seem to be a much quicker team than Neumann so far on the field.
Mm-hmm. And in that Widener game, it was a little bit of a double-edged sword. Quite a few offsides calls for the Garnet in that game, and the shot point blank blocked by the goalkeeper. And Dennison gets her own rebound after the fingertip save by Montgomery, and that is the 13th goal for the Garnet. Lucky number 13, as Swarthmore continues to run away with the game.
These are difficult games to play in a lot of ways for both teams. Obviously, Neumann would like to show a little better today. They're short-benched. They're struggling defensively. At the same time, it's difficult to Swarthmore to slow down a style of play that they've been conditioned to play all through the preseason. So they're getting a lot of time for a lot of different players, but they need to work on their execution, and so you can't expect them really to slow down.
Mm-hmm. Stark to Carrillo Perez. Dennison to Basilone. Basilone off to Albers. Carrillo Perez trying to flick it to Handel. As I mentioned before, earlier at the start of the half, Swarthmore with a very young lineup, mostly freshmen and sophomores. Gale, the only senior on the field for the Garnet. Albers, a junior. But with the exception of those two, I believe it's all underclassmen for the Garnet. Pretty much every player, every healthy available player for Swarthmore has seen time in this game. And this is a really great opportunity for Swarthmore to kind of get these player minutes and to see going forward who might be some more key reserves. Ball cleared by the Neumann defender. Throw-in will come from Sierra Stark, a sophomore from Victoria, British Columbia.
Roy, it is important to get these young players time to get their feet wet out on the field and get comfortable in the scheme. Our upper-class players have been working together for several years, obviously, and they know each other and know their moves. So it's good here early in the season to get the younger players out there and get them adjusted to the speed of the game and the way that we play.
Gale still with the ball, navigating through a couple Knights defenders. Bronco low. We'll play it back to Basilone at midfield. Finding Handel. Handel sprung loose in a foot race with the Neumann defender, but the Knights clear the ball. Throw-in will come from number 19, Justine Albers. Off the foot of Bronco low. Looking to find Dennison in the box. Bounces out to the perimeter. Taking a run is Albers. Albers still with it off the left foot, and a goal from just inside the box by Albers.
Nice shot by Justine. You could tell the Neumann defenders were just a little bit flat across job coming across the box and finding the side of the net. Nice to see her coming across the box with her head up and looking to shoot.
And that's been one of the few unassisted goals that we've seen from the Garnet today. That one, she took it on her own, and previously one goal right off the rebound. But most of these goals have come from really good passing play by the Garnet, through balls, crosses, threatening positions, and that's really, really good to see that their passing has been so crisp and so on point, and hopefully, that'll help them on in later games when maybe there's a little more defensive pressure, to have that ability to get those passes into those tight spaces when there's a little bit less room for error. Ball now with Stark on the far left sideline. Stark to Bronco low, can't control it. Neumann will kick it out, and it looks to be a goal kick. It must have made contact with Bronco low, so restarting play will be the Knights. Montgomery not taking the goal kick herself for Neumann.
Your point about the passing is a good one, and the number of assists today, Roy. In a game like this, it's good to work on specific things. And passing through pressure is one of the things that the Swarthmore team needed to work on, and they've done a good job today.
Especially, it would be, with this level of defensive pressure, one-on-ones are be very easy to score on, I imagine. Finding yourself at the top of the box with a defender to beat, you beat them, you score. But the passing has really impressed me so far from the Garnet, and has been a highlight of this game. Earlier, Kana taking a beautiful cross, kneeing it into the net. And we've seen a lot of good of that from this game and from the game against Widener. I believe all of those goals were assisted. So Swarthmore off to a good start this season in their build-up play and their passing, and they'd like to continue it into tomorrow's game against St. John Fisher as well. Ball back to Schmoys. Schmoys, the freshman from Ithaca, New York, seeing her first collegiate action in this game. I imagine head coach Todd Ankaitis will also look to get 00 Sydney Hunter, another freshman keeper, sometime in net. In the first half, splitting time between seniors Reba McGear as the starter and Kayla Long. In the Widener game, and head coach Ankaitis did the same thing as well, splitting McGear with 45 minutes and Long with 45 minutes as well. Basilone tripping. Dangerous position for Neumann. High ball. Grabbed by Schmoys. The Neumann players wanted a goal, saying that Schmoys' back foot was over the line on that difficult ball, but ref says play on.
Well, we know the goalie can be all the way in her box. It's the ball that makes the difference there, and the ball was clearly not across the line. Nice job by Schmoys. And this is great for the freshman goalkeepers to get a little bit of action as well today. Carrying 4 goalkeepers for Coach Ankaitis is going to be a challenge during the course of the season, but an interesting dynamic with 2 seniors and 2 first years. So
long ball from Albers, looking, sprinting is Dennison, rather. Beating her to the ball is Montgomery. And it's definitely a great point that it is difficult to carry 4 goalkeepers, especially in close games when maybe you're likely to only use one. And it's difficult in games like these where maybe they're not facing as much offensive pressure from a team like Neumann. But even still, in a situation like that, Schmoys reacted very well to a ball that came off at a weird angle, and that was probably higher than she was expecting it to be. Handled it nicely, and getting a lot of good experience for her. And
it's a more important experience for the first years than it probably is for Kayla, who's used to being out on the field and seeing the game as it develops. The first years really need to get between the pipes and watch the whole game at this level.
And both of them, as we noted, are freshmen, and both of the 2 main goalkeepers, the starter and her backup, are seniors. So next year there will be an interesting competition to see who gets that time in net, with so many minutes being available, with the departure of McGear and Long. Gale off to Dennison. Dennison. Dennison looking for an opportunity as a cross. The Neumann defender kicks it out, and Gale will restart with a throw-in. Gale to Bronco Lowe. Bronco Lowe getting a lot of minutes in this game, coming in early in the first half, and I don't think she's been subbed out since then. And the throw-in will come from Stark. Stark to Bronco Lowe, to Carrillo Perez. Back to Stark. Off to Carrillo Perez, facing a little bit of pressure, and gives it up to Neumann. 10 minutes gone, just over 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Swarthmore with 3 goals so far for a 14-0 lead in its home opener here at Clothier Field. Looking to start the season off 2-0, and in all likelihood that will most definitely be the result today, unless Neumann can pull off something that we've never seen before. Carrillo Perez to Dennison, off to Albers. Albers on the wing, looking to find someone in the middle on a run. Nobody found. Ball picked up by Neumann, but given up just as easily. Handel slowing things down, going one-on-one with her defender. Finally tries to get it off to Gale on the wing. A little strong, but Gale recovers it. Bronco Lowe just outside the box. Edge of the box shot by Bronco Lowe and is wide. May have been looking for Handel to make a run into the box, but just past her, and Neumann will restart with a goal kick.
Clearly there are some restrictions on what the players can and can't do out on the field now. Just by example, that last play, you never want to be 2-on-2 at the top of the box and waiting to look for a third opportunity. But Coach Ancudis has put some restrictions on the players right now. They're working on specific objectives.
Ball stays with Neumann. So far, Neumann having trouble mounting an offensive attack. Only 1 shot for the Knights to Swarthmore's 22. That shot came just a couple of minutes ago against the freshman goalkeeper, Amy Schmoys. Not a lot of prolonged possession for Neumann either. Ball has been really at the feet of the Garnet for, I would say, 95% of this game. Swarthmore now at half field. Ball with Albers. Albers making a run is Handel. Coming out of the box was Montgomery. No one there. Off to Dennison. Dennison with the easy goal on an empty net. And Swarthmore with 15 goals as their lead continues to grow. Sorry, Adam.
You saw the keeper come off her line, and she did well to get to the ball first. She did not make a good clear on it, but none of her defenders retreated back to the goal to support her, leaving Dennison with an open net to put the ball home. This is a unique kind of a tournament, right, Roy?
Mm-hmm.
So we play half of it, and we co-host it with Bryn Mawr.
That is correct. So we will be playing St. John Fisher tomorrow at 1 p.m., and I believe Bryn Mawr is playing St. John Fisher today, and they will face Neumann tomorrow. So it is the Bryn Mawr Swarthmore Invitational. Something similar happening with volleyball this weekend with the Haverford and Swarthmore Invitational, two Trico schools. Volleyball action today at Haverford in Gooding Arena. Swarthmore, Salisbury, Stevenson, CCNY, Haverford, and SUNY New Paltz all participating. And then tomorrow they'll be here at Tarbell Pavilion in the Lamb Miller Fieldhouse for 8 matches, 2 courts throughout the day. 10, 12, 2, and 4 p.m. Those games will not be live streamed on the Garnet Sports Network, but there will be live stats for both Swarthmore matches. Swarthmore will face Stevenson at 12 p.m. and SUNY New Paltz at 4. Those look to be good matches to tune into the live stats. Stevenson and New Paltz both reaching the NCAA tournament in 2014 and are perennial contenders within their respective conferences. So a lot of good volleyball for Swarthmore this weekend. Another team Swarthmore will be playing today, in addition, is Carnegie Mellon, another 2014 NCAA tournament participant. Running through the defense of Neumann is Albers. Albers slowing it down, off to Bronco Lowe. Bronco Lowe turns it over. Neumann looking for something, but still a very high line from the Garnet pushing, and they recover the ball. Namazi at half field to Stark. Stark to Dennison, and ball will settle at the feet of the Neumann defender. Other Garnet action today and this weekend, the 17th annual Garnet Alumni Classic will be hosted by the men's soccer team here at Clothier Field. Later today, Swarthmore will play its home opener against the Cavaliers of Cabrini College. Before that game at 5 p.m. will be a neutral game between Widener and Kane, and then that Garnet game will kick off at 7 p.m. Tomorrow at 4 p.m., the Garnet men's soccer team will play Kane University, and then at 6 p.m. there will be the last game of the Alumni Classic between Widener and Cabrini at 6 p.m. All of those games will be streamed here live at the Garnet Sports Network with our new technology coming at you live in high definition. Foul by the Neumann player. Looked like a two-hand shove. Namazi goes to the ground. Seems like she wanted something in the way of a card. Nothing comes from the referee. Probably the product of some frustration from Neumann being down 15-0, very tired in this heat, not having a lot of substitutions. So we may see a little more cynical play from the Knights if the ref doesn't maybe take the game under control a little bit. Neumann in their offensive half. Ball cleaned out by Dennison, and the Knights will get a throw-in. Neumann. Don't know if that was a shot on Schmoys or if she was looking for someone to make a run into the box. The result is a ball in the hands of Schmoys, which she plays long with a goal kick, but bounces past every Garnet offensive player and is played back to Montgomery in the net for the Knights.
Emblematic of some of the many challenges of playing a game like this for both sides are the cheekiness, as you put it earlier, of the play as it gets deeper into the game and players get more tired and more frustrated on the field. Referee needs to do a good job of making sure he keeps the game under control.
Albers with a shot, and just high and left. Swarthmore making a substitution. Bosworth, the senior, will come in for Stark. Bosworth started the game, senior captain from Escondido, California, finding the back of the net earlier in the contest. Bronco Lowe. Carrillo Perez to Dennison. Swarthmore passing the ball expertly, plays it ahead to Bronco Lowe. Offside flag comes just before the ball hits the goal line, and Neumann will take possession.
And the offsides is a bit of a concern in the early in the season here, as you mentioned, 16 of them in the Widener game, and a handful of them today as well. And oftentimes it's with the defender right in front of you, and so there's really not an excuse for being offsides like that. It's just impatience. Something they definitely want to clean up as we go along.
Namazi to Carrillo Perez to Handel. Handel to looking for Bronco Lowe, but the ball is intercepted. Neumann with it. Sort of a last-ditch effort to try to get the ball on goal. Ball now with Bosworth. Handle.
Very little pressure on the ball by Neumann. The intercepted passes are more a result of our inaccuracy right now.
They have to be exhausted, especially on defense and in the midfield. 85-degree day, the turf even hotter out there. The sun at its highest right now, and with such a deep bench, they have some openings where they intercept the ball, but not able to capitalize it or really mount a counterattack. And the Garnet look very comfortable just possessing the ball right now, passing it around, navigating through defenders. Sprung loose is Dennison. Dennison on the wing. In the middle is Bronco Low, but tight defense by Widener forces the ball out. Coming back in for the Garnet will be number 18, a senior from New Orleans, Louisiana, Cappy Pitts. Pitts will replace number 19, Justine Albers.
There are a few things for me that give me more pleasure than listening to our roster and where our players are from. You've mentioned California,
Louisiana, that's correct.
and
British Columbia. I believe Emily Telford Marks is from North Carolina. Let's see, Katie Doherty and Melissa Trofa, both from Illinois. I believe Justine Albers is from Ohio. And so there's a lot of players from California, but there's a great geographic on this women's soccer team. Head coach Ankaitis making a really strong effort to recruit from across the country and finding a really, really talented group of players from a very large base. And that's something that's very, very special to Swarthmore. Some of our other teams with some international players, some on the men's soccer team, for example, from Ecuador and I believe Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, here at Swarthmore, a very, very geographically diverse set of varsity athletes, and not only geographic diversity, diversity of incomes and social economic backgrounds. Many of our students are their first generation college students, and that translates across all facets of campus life, and especially in athletics. And now Bosworth off to Handel in the middle. Dennison. Back to Basilone to Gale to Carrillo Perez. A lot of short passes for the Garnet, not looking to necessarily add to their lead of 15.
It's about possession right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Limit your touches, make your good passes. That was not one of them.
Handel losing the ball, but Bosworth cleaning it up. Bosworth, the senior captain, starting the game and coming back in the second half for Stark. Summer Dennison to Gale. Looking at the stats so far, Izzy Bronco Low leading all players with 57 minutes so far in this game. Namazi and Basilone each with 46. And most of our starters under 30, a lot of them under 20, with McGear playing 27 and Zavez playing 22 for the Garnet. Definitely spreading the wealth around here and the minutes in this home opener. And now, like I predicted earlier, freshman goalkeeper 00 Sydney Hunter will come in. Swarthmore getting all 4 of its keepers in this game. She relieves classmate Amy Schmoys. Schmoys with a nice save earlier on Newman's only shot on goal in this game. And now the rookie Hunter will get her first collegiate action, and let's see what she can do with it. Swarthmore will also be making another sub eventually, likely bringing in Stark for Bosworth, a substitution that was made just a couple of minutes ago.
Her eyes are wide open. She is ready to go.
Absolutely.
And she handles the first one with her feet. And her first touches in the game.
To Pitts, Pitts to Namazi. Bronco low. Dennison to Handel. Handel playing it off wide to Bosworth. Ball awarded to the Knights. And the horn sounds. And a substitution for both teams. Into the game for Neumann is number 12, replacing number 5. And coming in for the Garnet is number 30 for number 2. So Stark comes in for Handel, and Bosworth will stay in the game. Bosworth, one of the team leader in minutes for the Garnet last season, along with McGear. Definitely a rock in the midfield and the defense for that Garnet squad that won its first Centennial Conference championship in program history and made a berth into the NCAA tournament in 2014.
Yeah, a little surprising to see her out on the field still, but such vivid and great memories of her battling through the Centennial Championship and through that NCAA game against Connecticut College.
Definitely. Bosworth will, I believe, is the senior captain for the Garnet and will be relied on in moments like high-pressure moments like that. I believe she scored in the NCAA, or rather, she scored in the Centennial Conference final against Johns Hopkins, a key goal that helped bring that game to a penalty kick shootout. Stark with nobody in front of her except for the goalie, trailing as a Neumann defender. Stark still with it. Stark goes with her left foot and goes left and just wide of the net. Probably a lot of nerves for the first-year player. She is a sophomore, but it is her first year with the team, and the adrenaline going, looking for her first career goal. Just hits it left of the net, but I'm sure the next time she will capitalize now with that experience of what it's like to have that breakaway with a goalie.
Yeah, she did a good job breaking through the back line, and the keeper actually did a nice job not committing too early, staying on her line, not charging out on her. Might have thrown her off her game a little bit.
Stark, ball with, there's a collision, and both players are down. Carrillo Perez able to get back up. The Neumann player having a little more difficulty, but she remains in the game, gets up under her own power, walking a little bit gingerly, but the referee does not stop play, and the Knights will restart with a free kick.
I like what I've seen from Carrillo Perez so far today. Very sure with her foot and on the ball, makes good decisions, stays home.
Long ball from number 8 for the Knights, and coming in for the Garnet will be number 29, Tasman Bailiff Curtis, and she replaces Carrillo Perez, the player just mentioned, and coming in again will be Justine Albers, and she replaces Sophie Basilone. Bailiff Curtis returning to the team, a two-sport athlete for the Garnet, starring in women's soccer and women's lacrosse, missing the fall season for study abroad, but now returning for the Garnet in her senior year. Many Swarthmore student athletes studying abroad, and it's difficult for a two-sport or even three-sport athlete that we have to sort of pick which season that they may need to miss to have that sort of once-in-a-lifetime experience to study abroad.
And that's what it is. It puts the multi-sport athlete in a delicate position, but it is such a valuable opportunity and experience that we can't discourage it in any way.
Another substitution for the Garnet. It looks like Kayla Handel will be replacing Bosworth. And just over 15 minutes remaining in the first half, in the second half of this first home game for the Garnet. Any more substitutions for Swarthmore will have to come within the next 10 minutes. Any substitutions made by the leading team with under 5 minutes in regulation will stop the clock, and neither team at this point of the game needs to extend the game at all. So I imagine head coach Todd Ankaitis will look to make any more subs within the next couple of minutes, and he's already done a very good job distributing those minutes and getting his whole bench into the game.
St. John Fisher will be a new experience tomorrow. We've not played them, I don't think, in any sport. Again, up in action today against Bryn Mawr, at Bryn Mawr, the co-hosts of this tournament with Swarthmore. We'll just switch opponents for tomorrow's game. St. John Fisher from New York.
St. John Fisher opened the season with a 1-0 win over Juniata College of the Landmark Conference on the road on September 1st. They are currently playing Bryn Mawr, that game with a 1 p.m. start time with 7 minutes 48 seconds left in regulation. St. John Fisher with a 2-goal lead, 2-0, over the Owls of Bryn Mawr College. Last year, the Cardinals of St. John Fisher finished 6-12-1 overall in the Empire 8 Conference, ending their season in the Empire 8 Championship, or rather the Empire 8 playoffs, with a 1-3 loss to Ithaca. So we'll see how the Garnet navigate St. John Fisher. Likely to be a more difficult opponent than Neumann today, but maybe not up to par of what the Garnet will see in Centennial Conference competition with teams like Johns Hopkins and Gettysburg, for example.
Well, you know you're playing in a competitive conference when the defending champion is selected third in the preseason.
Third, that is correct. Third in the preseason poll. Some key losses. There have been key losses for the Garnet in Emma Sindelar, for example, the all-time leading scorer in program history, not only for goals, assists, points. A really key player all 4 years, a 4-time member of the Centennial Conference first team, and just a lightning fast player at forward. So that has been a key departure for the Garnet. But so far, we haven't seen that their offense has fallen off in any way, shape, or form. Granted, the competition has not been as staunch as maybe it will be later in the season, but a lot of offense for the Garnet in the early goings of the season. One player that has been particularly strong in reserve is the freshman number 15, Marin McCoy. McCoy with 2 goals and 2 assists today already in very limited action, and 1 goal and an assist in that 4-0 win over Widener. So I'm definitely looking to see McCoy be a key for the Garnet, a very tall, strong player, very difficult to guard and still very quick. So she'll be someone looking to step in the role vacated by Sindelar, and other players such as Malay Johnson and Caroline Kana will pick up a lot of that offensive burden as well. The Neumann player intercepting the ball, going for a shot, sails high, desperation attempt from the Knights as the game winds down. Number 17 coming back in for Neumann, and 11 minutes remaining in this first half.
Good to see Neumann being aggressive there. You want to look up, see you got the space, and take a shot. Who knows? You got a first-year goalie in the pipes. The 4th goalkeeper being used by Swarthmore today.
McCoy, a freshman from Denver, Colorado, 3-sport athlete in volleyball, basketball, and soccer, finished her career with 110 goals and 54 assists, very good numbers, and was an NSCAA High School All-American in 2015 after receiving regional All-American honors in 2012 and 2014, also the Colorado 3A Player of the Year in both 2014 and 2015. So she is definitely someone that I think will see a lot of time for the Garnet. hasn't started either game so far, but has been one of the first reserves off the bench in both games this season.
There are not a lot of people who can say they scored 100-plus goals in their high school career.
And 54 assists as well.
Yep. She definitely brings a different dimension to the game, a different dynamic than Sindelar had. Sindelar was a speedster and beat people with her speed with the ball. And McCoy, as you mentioned, is a tall, big, physical player who will win head balls and will muscle her way into the box and bring something to the Swarthmore attack that we just have not seen.
Ball back to Pitts. Pitts to Albers. 9:22 left. Albers to Bronco Lowe. Bronco Lowe plays it back to Pitts. Pitts back to Bronco Lowe. Swarthmore content to just pass it out and wind down the clock. No reason to get a 16th goal. Namazi. Namazi off to Handel. Handel to Bailiff Curtis to Gale. Both seniors, Gale and Bailiff Curtis, and Pitts as well. Back to Pitts. To Dennison. To Bailiff Curtis. Looked like she was going to try and hit a long ball, but perhaps thought better of it. Handel now on the far sideline, the far side of your screen. Making a small run is Bronco Lowe, but the Neumann defender hits it out, and Swarthmore will restart with a throw-in.
It certainly looks like keep away now. Swarthmore not aggressively going forward, and Neumann not aggressively pursuing or attacking Swarthmore. So looks like we're playing this one out.
Both teams understand that this is a foregone conclusion. If they've ever seen one with a 15-goal lead, I don't know if I've ever seen a lead that large in Swarthmore women's soccer or men's soccer history, to be honest. I'll have to check the record books and see if this is the largest margin of victory in program history. I believe there's some 10-0 games against maybe CCNY from a couple of years ago, but a 15-goal margin is something beyond what I've seen in my time here.
You've got to credit the Neumann goalkeeper in the first half who made several stellar point-blank saves to keep the game under control for a while.
Absolutely, yeah. Without the efforts of Montgomery, this could very well be an 18-0 or even perhaps 20-0 game. The goalkeeper making 11 saves. Swarthmore with 26 shots on goal. So credit to her, not getting a lot of help from her defense. Not a lot of those goals directly her responsibility. Some, maybe there's a rebound that didn't quite get to her, eluded her grasp, but a pretty good game for Montgomery overall. And there was just a threatening ball from Neumann. It looked like the Neumann player would be able to get the ball just in front of Hunter, but she was edged out by the Garnet defender, and the freshman Hunter able to pick up the ball safely and restart play.
Well, and that last play demonstrates...
and this one as well, 11 for Neumann taking it, but she's run down by Namazi. Namazi boxing her out and allows the ball to get to Hunter safely. And I'd like to think that perhaps if Neumann had a larger bench, a little more depth, the speed would allow her to get to the ball, but they're very tired from the heat and their short roster, and Namazi just coming in from the other direction with a great box out, allowing Hunter to make a play on the ball.
Exactly right. It was a great box out. Get in between the ball and the defender and just box it out so Hunter could take control of the ball. But those last two plays do demonstrate the importance of getting Hunter into this game now and getting her feet under her so she can get used to the game at this level and the speed, and understand when she needs to come off of her line and attack the ball and when she should be letting her defenders take the ball and work with her.
Bailiff Curtis just behind midfield. 5.5 minutes remain in this game. Swarthmore leading 15-0, scoring 4 goals in this half, 11 in the first. Ball with Neumann. Neither team looking to really push ahead. I think both teams resigned to their respective fates, one good and one bad, as Swarthmore will improve to 2-0 and remain undefeated this season with this win, and Neumann will drop to 0-2, and unless they can find the net in these remaining 4.5 minutes, they'll be without a goal for the second consecutive game after falling 6-0 to Eastern to open the season. A little quick ball over to Stark. Stark on the near sideline. Stark stopping. Short cross. I think she was looking for Bailiff Curtis, but Neumann intercepts. Maybe something, but Namazi with a lot more energy than the Neumann forward and just beats her to the ball yet again, the third time in short amount of time that she's just been faster or had more energy than number 11 for the Knights.
And again, fundamentally sound position-wise, getting herself in between the attacker and the goalkeeper, and letting the ball, turning the ball harmlessly over. And you can see the Neumann forward cramping a little bit.
Clock will stop.
And that was for the cramp. And they'll sub her out.
Into the game for the Knights, number 9, Courtney Curcio.
And it wasn't quite as hot as it was earlier this week on September 1st, Tuesday, when we had our home field hockey opener. Temperatures reaching 90+ degrees, several water breaks in both halves. Just a very, very brutal hot game. Ended in a 3-2 loss for the Garnet field hockey team, a heartbreaking setback for a team that showed a lot of promise and is looking to improve on its 2014 campaign. Today, not quite as hot as that day, but still the temperatures in the high 80s, I would say, and the turf definitely raises that a couple degrees. Handle to Dennison. Dennison stripped of the ball. Neumann. Ball taken by Bronco Lowe. Bailiff Curtis to Albers. Albers back to Pitts. Pitts back to Albers. Albers to Gale. Back to Pitts. Back to Gale. And she resets it in the middle to Namazi. And Swarthmore just passing the ball around. Not too much more to be said for this game that's in the last 2.5 minutes. And Swarthmore will take its 15-0 win home to the locker room and prepare for tomorrow's match against St. John Fisher in the final game of the Swarthmore Bryn Mawr Invitational for the Garnet. Bailiff Curtis back to Namazi. Off to Handel. Handel. And ball off the Neumann defender. Handel will take her time with the throw and no need to rush here at the end of the game. Neumann, 3 Garnet defenders in the way. Nice pressure from Handel. Forces a throw in. And Gale will take it, and 1:12 left on the clock. Gale to Stark. Stark back to Namazi. Namazi to Bronco Lowe. To Bailiff Curtis. Swarthmore not crossing half field at all, probably under instruction from Coach Ankaitis. Dennison playing it back to Pitts. Pitts still with it, off to Albers. Back to Pitts, again to Albers. And 35 seconds left. Giving it up is Dennison, and Neumann still with the ball. It looked for a second like they may be mounting a last-ditch effort to avoid the shutout and get on the board, but that attack not threatening for the Garnet. Last-minute shot from number 22 takes a weird hop, and Hunter reacts perfectly and punches it down. And 5 seconds, and that will be it as the ball will go out of bounds. And Swarthmore ends its home opener with a 15-0 win over the Knights from Neumann University. Swarthmore jumping out ahead early, pressing, not really taking its foot off the gas in the first half. Took an 11-0 lead before half, scored 4 more goals in the second. Not much more to really say about the game. The Garnet looked pretty good. Neumann clearly overmatched. Not a lot of data or conclusions that can necessarily be drawn until we see maybe a higher level of competition from the opponent. But, you know, the Garnet taking care of business, beating the teams it should beat. Improving to 2-0, yet to concede a goal so far this season with a 19-0 margin in its last 2 games. And they will take on St. John Fisher, same time, same place, 1 p.m. on Sunday tomorrow here at Clothier Field. Please join us on the Garnet Sports Network for our live stream of that game. And, you know, tune in later today. We will have a men's soccer home opener at 7 p.m. between the Swarthmore College Garnet and the Cabrini Cavaliers, the second game of the 17th annual Garnet Alumni Classic. I'm Roy Grime here with at the Garnet Sports Network, signing off. Thank you for joining us, and we'll hope you'll tune in throughout this weekend and throughout the season. And now for today's starting lineups. First for Kane, a junior midfielder, number 3, Carmine Colasurdo. A junior defender, number 6, Steven Osores. A senior midfielder, number 7, Richard Zapata. A sophomore defender, number 8, Alex Noriega. A sophomore defender, number 15, Rafael Chapella. A sophomore forward, number 17, Michael Vargas. A sophomore forward, number 18, Seb Kerlopian.
A sophomore defender, number 22, Adair Solano. A freshman midfielder, number 26, Mateo Castro. A freshman forward, number 32, Timothy Karsov. And in goal, a junior, number 1, Brad Watkins. The Cougars are